Well, hello everybody. It is your one and only Burning Ghidorah. So this time it's a collab video with my besto friendo, Quicks. Or is it Quicks? Either way, today we'll be covering a legendary topic, a legendary brawl. Two incarnations that are actually at least like a good year apart. And someone fact checked this. Either way, today we're going to be talking about, as the thumbnail says, legendary Mechagodzilla. Legendary Mechagodzilla. God damn, the video still haunts me. Legendary Megazord versus MV Godzilla, or legendary Godzilla. And I'll be covering legendary Godzilla in this segment, and then I'll pass the mic on to Quicks and let him handle the Megazord and the Rangers. So what is MV scale? Now, I'm not gonna bore you with the schematics of all this yada yada. We should all know what MV scales consistently by now, like wank and all. But so what would this scale? But we know by at least Awakening, which yes, Awakening is still canon to the timeline, that he thinks a permanent extinction event. Calcs for this get us far to multi-continental tonight to like what, moon level. So that's pretty good so far for the Big G. But can we go higher? Now, I'm not gonna bore you with the planetary shitfest, but he can fight Ghidorah and Shimo. Both have statements being able to destroy the planet. Godzilla drilling down the whole Earth for Conga GVK gets as far to also planetary. Of course, there are higher ends if you saw the last video. But anywho, yes. So he would be in the planetary range. I didn't feel like covering moon level because moon level is from like what I just said, and also his Ghidorah storm. Anyways, but can we go higher? Yes, we can in fact go higher. Now we know that Godzilla can just carry you off through hollow earth portals and stuff. And and yes, Monarch Legacy of Monsters is in fact still canon to the timeline. So, what does this mean, you ask? Simple. We can scale. And if you haven't already known, MV got a buff recently. So, but we'll need to address some things. Godzilla's atomic breath has multiple calcs in GVK to get us far to small star. I'm not gonna question the schematics behind it, but I don't feel like I got it. So, yeah. And since we're gonna be using Legacy of Monsters anywho, Kong go into the hollow portal, Godzilla into the hollow portal, whatever. The hollow portals have calcs of beginning as far as like large star. And we know that Godzilla is said to be the strongest force in nature. And he is like stronger than hollow Earth. And Godzilla has also gotten compared to like some gamma rays and stuff like that. So yeah. And going back to the strongest thing in the universe statement, this would make him scale above black holes. We know that technically the black hole, fuck. Shit, I'm keeping this in, I guess. But the whole Earth going into it gets compared to a black hole. So, yeah. And yeah, because in fact, T-Met's layer in GSK is basically said to be the largest star pile, which directly means that T-Met's layer is basically more energy enriched field, whatever, stronger than the hollow Earth. Godzilla is above both sources, so saying that both for his energy for like a meaning of time, he's above them. I mean, he beats T-Met's ass like very easily because she wanted to be stupid. Still baffles me how she gets to come back as a severed head in a tube. Yet the dude who brought this whole concept to the monster like a really good regeneration, yeah, he's fucking dead. But I know she never did it first, technically, if you go from the lore perspective, but Ghidorah was in ancient times. And we don't know how much that dates back. Anywho, now what about MV Godzilla's speed? Now, Kong has been the Dodger's atomic breath. Ghidorah has been the Dodger's atomic breath. Shimo has still made it in ancient times. He's still made it with Mechagodzilla. Now, Shimo's beam is said to be her own atomic breath. So, yeah. And Mechagodzilla has statements many times of it being like a beam or even it being made of light. Godzilla also has statements of it also being made of light. So, Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he can also take his own axe. I mean, for his own axe, his own atomic breath, charged up, like to the face by Kong. He's not even phased by it, and like at all. And but what about his hacks? MV Godzilla doesn't have a lot of hacks. I mean, he has hacks, but they're not gonna be a lot of use in this fight. His atomic breath has subatomic destruction, so durability negation. He has high instances to the point where he can just send you anywhere on the planet. I mean, them confirming us into space, but I mean, who knows, I guess. Of course, he can absorb radiation, he can absorb energy. That's just been consistent throughout the movies. Like, yeah, he can just absorb energy and stuff. So, yeah. I genuinely don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Well, no, I do. He's always adapting. He's always getting stronger. Because which Godzilla isn't? Either way. Yeah, it's not a lot that I can genuinely cover about MV Godzilla's hacks. If you want a more in-depth analysis of his hacks, go to someone like King of the Monsters or Viper. Tell him I sent you. Or if you kind of want to be like that, man, just go to Chronicle. But we have our final stats for MV Godzilla. As of currently, he should be at least Star to Soldier. If we're taking those high ends, he should be FCL and combat and reaction speed. And he has a good bit of hacks in this kit that will help him. Anyways, I'm gonna turn them at the Quicks. Him tell you the power of the legendary legendary Megazord. So, to you, Quicks.
Hello everyone, Cukes here, back for another video. And it's been a while since I've created a power scaling video, at least like a full length one and not like a short one. But hey, better late than never. So, y'all already know the topic, MV Godzilla versus Legendary Megazord. Since, you know, one is the Legendary Megazord and one could technically be called Legendary Godzilla because the Monsterverse movies are made by Legendary. So, yeah. And I'm just going to get on to the scaling because I don't want to yap anymore. So, to start off, Legendary Megazord should have around small country level kinetic energy, as it weighs around 2,000 tons, and it can go from the Earth to the Moon in a very short amount of time, thus granting it small country level kinetic energy output. However, you can get more from the first episode. Yes, everything so far has been in the first episode, which you might not seem impressed because I've only said one thing, but it'll get more impressive as we go on. So, we get introduced to the Ranger Keys. Gosei, the keeper of the Ranger Keys, say they hold infinite power. This would grant them easily high universal attack potency. However, there's even more from episode 1 we can go over. Yes, there's even more. So, in episode 1, Gosei states that this invasion is nothing like Earth has ever seen before, and it's even more ferocious than any other has seen before. So you could argue that this invasion is more powerful than other previous invasions of Earth from other previous series. And Gosei is most likely a reliable source, as he is the keeper of the Ranger Keys, which hold all of the previous Rangers' power, and he's one of Zordon's disciples.
Welcome, humans. I am Gosei. My mentor, Zordon, placed me here to be guardian of this planet.
So, it's pretty weird to think that he isn't a valid source. This means that this invasion should upskill ones from like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Zeo and Turbo. So, to quantify the invasion's power, I'm going to scale Lord Zed because he's just the GOAT, you know? He's the GOAT of Power Ranger, bro. So, to start off, Lord Zed is unmatched in power by anything of Season 1 and anything Rita could do.
I'm afraid your Zords may not be powerful enough to defeat Lord Zed's magic.
Lord Zed's power is unmatched by anything we've ever seen before.
This means that Lord Zed should upscale people like Lokar, who has more energy than anything Zordon has ever seen.
Yes, Jason, I know. I'm picking up unusual power surges from Rita's moon base. The energy is more massive than any I have sensed before. Rita may be harnessing a power I am not familiar with. Be on your guard.
This means he should upscale dimensions with almost infinite power, and the power eggs, which are said to hold the power of a universe, which has a fourth dimension, and is able to shatter it. This should grant Zed universal to universal plus attack potency, and as a result, the Armada should have universal to universal plus attack potency, which is consistent with our infinite power scale. And how do the Rangers scale to the Armada, you ask? Well, that's kind of a dumb question. I know a lot of people say there are no dumb questions, but that's kind of a dumb question. If the whole plot of the show is for the Rangers to fight the Armada, so they would scale to it. So the Rangers should have casual, universal to universal plus attack potency. As for speed, we can go back to that kinetic energy calculation and take the speed from that. This would result in relativistic speed. However, you could get higher though, because in some other episodes, they can get to the moon way faster. In like 2 seconds. As for higher ends, the Rangers who pilot the darn thing can react to lasers on various occasions, which should show on screen. So just give it a second, and they should be done by now. This should result in FTL to relativistic plus speed. However, you can get even higher than FTL and into the MFTL to MFTL plus ranges, as if you consider the Armada to be galactic, which is implied and stated on numerous occasions, you should be able to get MFTL to MFTL plus, since they have to traverse the entire galaxy to go to planets and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's about it for speed. However, for abilities and hacks, I will not list them all. I will list a few, since the Megazord can combine with previous Zords and gain their powers. So you can really just say, this guy now has his powers, so I don't have to list every single ability and hack that that character has. However, if you want a in-depth look on the Rangers' abilities and hacks, I'll link something in the description to help y'all. So, yeah. Yeah, that's about it for Legendary Megazord. And to cap it all off, I'll recap his stats. So, at least he should have small country level attack potency via Ki to even universal levels of power, since he upscaled all previous invasions and has infinite power. As for speed, he should be in those FTL to MFTL plus level ranges, as he can dodge lasers and fight people who can traverse galaxies. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see y'all in the outro. Looking at the stats, you can clearly see it's not that close, as MV Godzilla is in the large planetary solar system level ranges, while the Legendary Megazord is in the universal level ranges. That's a very big leap in power, if I do say so myself. And its speed, if we don't use the MFTL plus ends, it is pretty close, basically having around the same speed ends. But if we do include the MFTL plus stuff, it's not close at all. So, in conclusion, I'd say the Legendary Megazord destroys. And I'm pretty sure Burn should agree on that too. So thank you for watching the video, everyone. I'm thankful to collaborate with my friend Burn. And I have nothing really else to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.